Okay, guys, let's talk about something pretty important. And that is now that we have gotten to the almost the end of the play, or for my Thursday and Friday kids, you definitely got to the end of the play. Um, if Oedipus Rex is considered to be the original tragedy, which it very much is, and I think at this point that all of you can understand and agree that Oedipus is pretty pitiful. Well, if the play itself is the original tragedy, that makes Oedipus himself the original tragic hero. So, my recommendation to you is to jot down not only the seven things here, but maybe a couple other things that I'm saying to you via this video. And everything that I'm saying to you right now is likely to be on a test. And if you have this stuff written down, it's going to be helpful. Hint, hint. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you about Oedipus is that, or the first tragic hero characteristic, is number one. He is going to be of noble birth. Now, Oedipus is noble in several different ways. Not only was he born to a king and a queen, he was also adopted by and raised by another king and queen. Make sure you remember their names. So he is noble in every way that you could possibly be noble. Two, he is an honorable man. I know. I know. He killed his father and married his mother. I know. That's awful. But he tries really hard not to. In fact, everything that he does throughout his entire life is to stay away from the fate that the gods gave him. He tries really hard. At the beginning of the play, where did you see him? On the steps of the palace, talking to the people. Why? Because they had a problem and he wanted to fix it. He did everything in his power to help them. He is, or was, an honorable man. But as a man, number three, he does have a flaw, and that flaw is not going to be a choice that he made. His flaw is not that he killed his father or that he killed any man. That was a life choice. We're looking at his personality. So, what in him, what in his personality is not so great? One, he's got anger issues. You've seen his anger. You've seen his temper. When he gets offended, he just lashes out. He doesn't care who he hurts. He just speaks his mind. He is very, very angry. The entire scene with Laius on the road, the fact that he killed Laius being in an act of road rage, it shows you that he's got a temper. He has anger issues. Not only does he have that, the whole world knows my fame. I am Oedipus. Okay, well, he's got a little bit of an ego. His pride uh, follows him through life. I don't know how the guy can fit his head through doors. His ego is so massive. You could also look at maybe his curiosity and his constant need to have the truth. I don't fault him for that. I would want to know who my parents were as well. But in this case, his curiosity is going to get the best of him. If I was going to ask what is his most tragic flaw, let's say on a test, then you would need to simply select one of those and tell me how did that flaw contribute to his fall. Number four, he is a Greek tragic hero, which means that there is an element of the gods, of fate, meddling or messing around in the humans' lives that adds a little bit of a different air to what's going on in this guy's life. It's not just his fault. His family member, Cadmus, was cursed by the gods, was cursed by Ares. He cannot escape that. The idea that a human tries to escape from the gods' plans, I mean, that's all over this play. But bless his heart, as hard as he tries, he runs right into it. So the gods have ultimate control. Five, he does experience a downfall, a really horrible downfall. In one singular day, in one singular moment, as soon as the shepherd gives the word of who Oedipus is, he loses everything in his life, everything he ever cared about. I talked to my Thursday Friday group about this today actually, and we said, what did he lose? He loses his family, he loses his wife, he loses his children and siblings, he loses his throne, he loses that ego. Well, I would argue that he doesn't lose his ego, but it certainly does change him when he loses everything. The downfall completely wipes him out. For number six, but he is not going to walk around going, why gods, why me? No, he knows. He knows. He was cursed by the gods. He ran right into their plan. He knows why he fell, and he will admit that at the end of the play. Finally, number 7 does not talk about Oedipus. It is talking about you and me and the Greek audience. Number 7 is for the audience to the play, and that he evokes or brings out both pity and fear. I can feel pity for the guy. Yeah, he grosses me out a little bit. Yeah, I think that he maybe shouldn't have murdered people who were in his way on the road. Yes, I think that he made major life mistakes, but he was trying. He was trying so hard not to run into his fate. He didn't want that to happen. He wanted to be a good guy. He wanted to live a good life, but he ran right into the curse or the tragedy that was his life. So he does evoke both pity from the audience and fear. I'm not going to feel as much this fear because I am not Greek and I do not necessarily believe that the Greek gods have their fingers manipulating my life. But the Greeks would feel fear and go, "Ooh, if this happened to him, maybe this can happen to me. How do I prevent this from happening?" So it stands as, more of a cautionary tale. All right, so these are the 7 characteristics of the tragic hero. Yes, Oedipus embodies and holds on to a whole lot of these. If you have any questions about any of them that you have now written down somewhere in your notes, let me know.